Hello and welcome to Luntha TV News. I'm Kathy Matura, giving you news from our Catholic community, national developments and global events. Guided by faith, we share news that inform and uplift. Let's start with the top stories. From the Vatican, Pope Francis' condition is stable but still complex. President Chakwera calls for patriotism as the country honors 3rd March martyrs. Treasury accuses MDAs of getting sympathy through media on funding delays. In news from the volatile Great Lakes region, the Democratic Republic of Congo defies pressure over talks with rebels M23. And now we give you the news in details. The Holy See Press Office issued a brief statement on Monday morning Rome time, confirming that the Pope rested well throughout the night. This update followed Sunday's news that described Pope Francis' condition as stable but still complex as he receives treatment. The pontiff has been receiving oxygen therapy but has not required mechanical ventilation. Fales Chizombe reading a Vatican News report.
In the Monday morning update on the Pope's health, the Holy See Press Office said Pope Francis slept well through the night. According to the update, after he woke up, the Holy Father had breakfast and began the day's therapies. The update followed a Sunday evening statement that indicated the Pope's condition has remained stable. The press office gave further details, noting that the Pope has not required non-invasive mechanical ventilation as he had used in recent days, but was still receiving supplemental high-flow oxygen. It noted too that the Holy Father continues to be affable, that is, he does not have a fever. On Sunday, the Holy See Press Office released Pope Francis' Angelus address, in which he expressed gratitude for prayers and medical care whilst urging continued prayers for peace. Reflecting on the day's Gospel reading, the Pope emphasized the importance of seeing others with charity and of always speaking with goodness.
Archbishop Thomas Luntha of Luntha Archdiocese of Malawi has urged youth in the Catholic Church to be pioneers of peace and avoid being used as instruments of political violence as the country prepares for September 16, 2025 tripartite elections. The Archbishop was speaking on Sunday when he presided over the launch of Vocation Sunday preparations at Nzedi Parish in Blantyre. In an interview, Bishop Msosa said it is worrisome to know that politicians are using young people to fuel political unrest in the country. He therefore said despite the political pressure, Catholic youth must embrace the art of peace and ensure that every individual's rights are respected. This is part of what Archbishop Msosa said.
This launch is seen because it is for the youth to discover their vocation, where God is asking them to follow. So it is very important for the youth to really know where God is calling for them. And then as we have started, we have launched this year or this function, I would like to ask the youth that they may continue to reflect, to discern, and also to pray that the Almighty God should help them to discover where God is inviting for them. There are different vocations. We know already for the youth who are boys, they're invited to become priests, to become brothers, and for the girls, they're invited also to be sisters, or then to get married. But as married, the youth are supposed to go to the university. After finishing their work, their studies, then they are able to choose what to do. So therefore, today, as we are launching this journey of vocations, we ask the Almighty God to bless the young people so that they may be reflective on their journey as the gospel of today, that they should reflect on their lives, not pointing fingers to others, but to discern about their lives, what they are doing now. Because what they do now will reflect what they will do.
Proud Catholics have been challenged to step up their evangelization efforts, emphasizing the importance of spreading the good news of God, especially during challenging times. The call was made on the sidelines of a mass that marked the closing of a raffle draw aimed at mobilizing resources for the association's annual general meeting, AGM, scheduled to take place from May 2nd to 4th, 2025 in Mangochi. Archery Chilanga with the details.
In his homily, Father Steve Patrick Chikasu highlighted the need for the group to actively preach the gospel. Father Chikasu noted that many people are searching for spiritual guidance and hope amidst various national and global challenges, and that evangelization can play a crucial role in addressing these needs.
I emphasized in my homily that these groups should go everywhere preaching the good news, because we know that many people are looking for the word of God, especially amidst these challenges, these problems that we are facing as a nation, but also worldwide.
The Proud Catholics National Chairperson John Andrew Pili says the group aims to enhance evangelization among its members by emphasizing the importance of sharing their faith and ensuring they are well informed about Catholic teachings. He, among other things, expressed gratitude to those who supported the group's preparations for its upcoming AGM by participating in a successful raffle draw.
We have a national annual general meeting ahead that will take place in May, from 2nd to 4th May. So as one of fundraising to help cover the expenses of that annual general meeting, we decided to have so many fundraising activities that includes this raffle draw fundraising.
One of the lucky winners of the raffle draw, George Jumbo, expressed extreme happiness after winning and attributed their success to the grace of God.
It's extremely that I'm happy. Amongst those who were can say competing, it wasn't very easy.
Package at Mbobwe, a hospitality package at Mbombwe Rogers for 2 people, a bicycle, a pressing iron, and various Catholic devotionals such as the Holy Bible, hymn books, rosaries, and scapulars. Tickets for the raffle draw were available for purchase at an affordable price of 1,000 kwacha per ticket.
State President Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera has described Martyrs' Day commemoration as an important ceremony that deserves Malawians' attention as it displays footprints of the sacrifices made by the 31 men for the nation's freedom. The president made the remarks at Nkata Bay District Hospital ground on Monday, where he presided over the Martyrs' Day commemorations. The day comprised of laying wreaths at the memorial pillar site at Nkata Bay Jetty and at Kakumbi Mass Cemetery. Rashida Matandika reports.
The president highlighted reasons why the day is not a waste, as it might appear, because most people lack the understanding of its significance. He said the day is meant to remind Malawians that there were once people who were selfless to the point of giving up their lives fighting for the country's freedom, despite the risk of leaving their families' responsibilities. For this reason, Chakwera believes that it is important that the people should be remembered, not ordinarily, but through gatherings that involve prayers so that their families are comforted. President Chakwera has urged Malawians to imitate the martyr's spirit of not fighting only for their benefits, but for others as well, eliminating hatred and greediness for the common good. He has further cautioned youth in the country to relent from being used by politicians, destroying their own properties in the process.
Ndinthayo dzipereka nsembe potengera chitsanzo cha iwo amene adadzipereka masiku yawo. Moyo wa malitiri miyoyo yawo ikhale chitsanzo chathu, chitsanzo chodzipereka, chitsanzo chotumikirana wina ndi mnzake, chitsanzo cholimbikitsa kapena cholimbikira ndi kuphusha mpaka zitheke, chitsanzo cha ndale zachinaoto nchirwa adabanda aleke ndi masautso chipembere, ndale zoyenjanitsa achinyamata kuti abwere malo amodzi awuzane zochita kuti dziko litukuke, osati kungowagwiritsa ntchito kuti azipanga ziwawa zophwasula ngakhale zitukuko zawo zomwe.
In his preaching, Reverend Mezua Banda condemned people that have money but go about stealing from poor business people in the name of discounts when they are able to buy the most expensive commodities in big shops without asking for discount. He has called on Malawians to support such people who are only looking for today's bread or fighting the challenges that Malawi is passing through silently.
Ndimalize ndiaka pamene muchoka kuno akuluakulu aboma inu mudzibwerera ku Lilongwe, muzidutsa mnjiramo, mnjira mmene mudutsamo muzipeza azimayi okalamba aumphawi ndithu akugulitsa timalonda tawo, akugulitsa kuti akagule chakudya chathu cha lero, akalere ana chifukwa ndi ana amasiye. Nde inu mwalandira maalawansi anu amene munabwerera kudzatenga kuno, nkufika pamene paja nkuyamba kunenerera. Mpaka na amayi aja akugulitseni at quarter of the price. Mwatsitsa mtengo umene anakupatsa luja kufika one quarter. Ayi, si mtima umenewu wovula chovala chako na mpatsa wozizidwa uja kuti yezi mthandize. Ayi, chifukwa inu nomwe inu mukakalowa mu Shoprite, mukakalowa mu Game, kaya mukakalowa mu Food Lovers, mumatola kudzaza chitrole, simunenerera kwa tiu operator uja kunena kuti anchotsereko.
This year's Martyrs' Day has been commemorated under the theme, The Martyrs, a great example of patriotism. The 31 men died fighting for independence against the British rule on the 3rd March of 1959. Rashida Matandika, Luntha TV, Lilongwe.
You're watching news live on Luntha TV. We take a commercial break. Don't go away.
you passing through Desert Town and you think of finding a place to rest or just to have some nice food? Always keep this name in your mind. Comfort Lodge. Situated in Airfield at Desert Town. Here at Comfort Lodge, we offer comfortable, affordable and quality accommodation. The place is located at a very quiet environment that gives you a comfortable and peaceful sleep. We also offer local food such as mademba, masambo dendera, chisoso, ndindo zina za lokolo zambiri. Talking of entertainment, that's not an issue as we have a DSTV for your favorite channels. Tight security, electricity and water backups are all in place just for you dear customers. During this time of COVID-19, we have all measures in place just for your safety. Oh yes, come and taste a different feel of life here at Comfort Lodge in the town. Comfort Lodge. Comfort Lodge, your number one place for affordable and quality accommodation.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Luntha TV News and I'm Kathy Matura. But before we proceed, here is a recap of the top stories making the headlines.
From the Vatican, Pope Francis' condition is stable but still complex. President Chakwera calls for patriotism as the country honors 3rd March martyrs. Treasury accuses MDAs of getting sympathy through media on funding delays. In news from the volatile Great Lakes region, the Democratic Republic of Congo defies pressure over talks with rebels M23.
Treasury has shifted payments of the funded budget allocations responsibility to Accountant General. Secretary to Treasury Bechani Chereni was responding to media questions on government ministries, department and agencies' concerns of no funding and payments or access to the funds from Treasury, which chokes their operations. Robert Edward has more.
The blame game was observed on Friday when the Minister of Finance presented the 8.05 trillion kwacha budget, with most allocations being those traditional ones. However, government ministries and agencies face challenges of funding their budgets as submitted to the Treasury, and in some cases, their budgets are funded, but access to the funds become a challenge. When quizzed on assurance to the MDA's Secretary to Treasury, Bechani Chereni says, first of all, his office does not like discussing MDA funding issues in the media, accusing the MDAs of trying to get sympathy by rushing to the media when they fail to put up their case with Treasury, which is always willing to fund them, though the actual payment is done by the Accountant General. Recently, district councils in the country went months without funding, so too with some accountability government institutions. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
UTM party has urged Malawians to stop voting for greedy politicians who have worsened Malawi's economy and made life miserable for its citizens. According to the party's president, Dr. Dalitso Kabambe, Malawi has all the resources needed to prosper, but poor leadership has hindered progress. Dr. Kabambe was addressing masses who attended the UTM rally at Ngona in Lilongwe on Sunday, where he vowed to turn back Malawi into a food basket, with policies enshrined in the UTM manifesto come 16 September 2025. Emmanuel Chiwocha has filed this report.
As Malawi political landscape is indeed heating up, with only 197 days to go before the polls open. Speaking to the multitude of people, Dr. Kabambe emphasized that leaders who are greedy are not fit to rule the country because they are selfish and do not love Malawi.
Bwino zota ali mapezere federeza ndiye kuti muli mazambiri tibati forces of supply and demand mukakandi supply ya mbiri ya chimanga dziko lino mtengo wa chimanga umangotsika paokha ndiye chofuna kukonza ndi kulimiko ndiye ife ayutemu tikuti tidzakonza chumachi kuti ndalama yakwacha idzakhale yabwino.
UTM spokesperson Felix Njawala advised citizens across the country to rally behind and vote for Dr. Dalitso Kabambe and the UTM party. He assured them that Dr. Kabambe is the only hope for Malawi, who end hunger, high cost of living, and other challenges facing the country. Njawala also encouraged Malawians to make wise decisions during the upcoming elections, choosing leaders who prioritize the country's development and the well-being of its citizens. For Luntha News, this is Emmanuel Georgia.
Nice Public Trust has urged communities in the area of Senior Traditional Authority Chimatilo in Balaka District to actively participate in the electoral process and vote for leaders of their choice on September 16th this year. Nice Trust Programs Officer in Balaka District, Henry Zechariah, made the remarks during an engagement meeting with communities aimed at sensitizing them on the organization's Bomalatu project. The Bomalatu project, among other things, encourages accountability amongst leaders. Andrew Nandolo has filed a report read by Jean Galande Bernard.
Speaking at Matipa village in sub-traditional authority Chimatiro, Zechariah said communities have the power to track programs and development projects and how much was spent on the project. Commenting on elections, Zechariah urged people to attend all political party rallies to know what candidates are promising in their manifestos. He also said people should refrain from political violence.
So there are a number of issues that we want to address, that people, they should be empowered so that they are able to hold the duty bearers accountable. So we are highlighting the areas that Bomalatu wants to achieve. For instance, the research shows that in Malawi we have a lot of, we have a large number of women, youth, and the youth were including both boys and the girls. They are in large numbers. But when it comes to democratic processes, they are not taking leadership positions. So we are reminding them that they have the right to stand for either MP, a councillor, especially the youth and the women. So we're encouraging the youth and also the women that they should take part in the democratic processes. The other thing, we also touched on the issue of having the free and fair election. And we're telling the people that for the election to be fair, free, and the results that we're going to satisfy the needs of everybody, or that is going to reflect the wish of the people. There is need that these people, they should take active role to go and vote when the 16th, on the 16th September 2025.
The Bomalat project is key as Malawians prepare to vote in the September 16, 2025 general elections, when they will be choosing a president, members of parliament, and ward councillors.
In regional news, despite growing international pressure, the Democratic Republic of Congo is standing firm on its decision not to have direct talks with the M23 rebel group that has made major advances in the east of the country in recent months. Last week, the UK government added to calls for the group to be part of an inclusive dialogue to help find a political solution to the conflict. But in an interview with the BBC, DR Congo Prime Minister Judith Suminwa Tuluka said her government wants to negotiate with neighboring Rwanda, which it accuses of backing the M23. Here is a BBC report read by Fales Chizombe.
At least 8,500 people have been killed since fighting escalated in January, according to the Congolese authorities. Hundreds of thousands have also been forced from their homes amid the chaos triggered by the fighting, in which UN experts and others see Rwanda as having a key role. Peace talks brought by Angola hit a deadlock last December after Rwanda demanded that the Congolese government talk directly to M23. The rebel group then advanced swiftly, taking control of the cities of Goma and Bukavu in January and February. At a joint East and Southern Africa mediation effort last month, regional leaders called for a ceasefire, the exit of uninvited foreign armed forces from Congolese territory, and also urged for direct negotiations between state and non-state parties, including M23. Prime Minister Tuluka welcomed U.S. sanctions imposed on Rwanda government. Minister James Kabalabe saying they would help put pressure on their glaciers. However, Rwanda dismissed them as unjustified and ineffective in resolving the crisis. The European Commission, for its part, has suspended defense consultations and placed under review a memorandum of understanding it signed last year with Rwanda on raw materials. The Congolese Prime Minister welcomed the EU Commission's decision, saying that the illegal exploitation of resources, that is one of the causes of the conflict. When it came to what would solve the problem, if dialogue talks with the M23 were ruled out, the Prime Minister said that, along with negotiating with Rwanda, the answer was simple for what would guarantee a ceasefire, ensuring that Rwandan troops withdraw from the Congolese territory and that their M23 stop killing the Congolese populations.
That BBC report from the heart-wrenching DRC conflict read by Fales Chizombe brings us to the end of this bulletin. But before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again.
From the Vatican, Pope Francis' condition is stable but still complex. President Chakwera calls for patriotism as the country honors 3rd March martyrs. Treasury accuses MDAs of getting sympathy through media on funding delays. In news from that volatile Great Lakes region, the Democratic Republic of Congo defies pressure over talks with rebels M23.
We have reached the end of the bulletin here on Luntha TV News. Thank you for walking with us in faith and truth as we navigate the stories shaping our world and our church. Remember, in times of uncertainty, we find strength in our shared beliefs and the grace of God. Until next time, may His peace guide our hearts and prepare us for compassion as we head into the Lenten period. I'm Kathy Matura. Goodbye and ad maiorem Dei Gloriam.